Right, guys, Between the Sticks podcast, back with episode 3, our Super Bowl review. And this was probably one of the hardest things I've brought myself to do. What about yourself, Cam? Going on your predictions.
Yeah, that and we've kind of misjudged how effective staying up that late would be. We've done it before,
Yeah.
but I've never felt this bad before.
I mean, obviously, we're not going to go over our reviews. We hope you enjoyed the game. It was a good game to watch, but my God.
If you're someone that likes history and
Yeah.
obviously, like we said this in our predictions, we said you're gonna witness history, and if you're not there to watch it, you've missed out really.
The worst part was it was like we were that confident we'd put a few bets on, gamble responsibly.
Yeah.
Uh,
I was half expecting a touchdown, not just field goals, because I was confident on that bet that we put on the Gronkowski Kelsey to score.
I thought, that was a solid bet, but obviously Tom Brady had other plans. I mean, going into it, fair play to Gronk, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah,
he was
I think that's the best he's played all season. That when they needed him the most, he's showing up.
When it counts,
that's
it. I think. Did you see? Go on. I'll let you.
I got to say, you got to give credit to the defense too. Is it his name Devin White?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had an outstanding game. He was all over that Chiefs team. They couldn't really do much. I know, obviously, the Chiefs had injuries with the offensive line, but you've kind of got a game plan around that. You've got to expect them to come out and pressure the young blood, basically.
Was he the one that was marking up on Tyreek Hill and threw up the peace sign at him?
No, that was a different bloke.
Oh, right.
But did you see the video from previous? Do you know when we was watching it and we was like, why has he done that? It's disrespectful, that. After it, I saw the video of Tyreek when he run past him. He did that peace sign to the same player when he scored a touchdown. He did a backflip in end zone. So it's kind of payback, so it was worth it. And
that's it. I mean, he didn't react, did he, Tyreek? I think he must have known. He thought, oh,
yeah,
shit. That was...
he knew it.
It was the bets that we put on and our predictions. We were saying it'd be a close game and then sort of the Chiefs had run away with it. You had a really close game, I think. What did you say? 17-10? 17-10.
Yeah.
But there was a point when they were in that first quarter. They both had a few back and forths, both teams, 3 and outs. And it just looked like Tampa were just starting to get on a roll and get moving. And
he was just in that sort of mood, wasn't he, Brady? You could see it in his face. It wasn't a game that he was going to lose.
What didn't help with the Chiefs was that Tyrann Mathieu. That is how you say it, yeah.
He was just mouthing off all the time.
And why would you do that? It's been proved before that you don't mouth off to Tom Brady in a big game. Look at Richard Sherman with Seahawks.
Yeah.
I mean, Super Bowl. But what was your overall thoughts of it? What was your...
My initial thoughts when it started was, who are these people doing the national anthem? No. My initial thoughts was that I thought it was going to be close at the start, because obviously, like you said, there was a couple of 3 and outs and stuff like that. But as the game came on, you just kind of saw in the Bucks really wanted it more, really, I'd say.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I think the only player on the Chiefs team is obviously Mahomes. He tried to do everything he could. Literally, obviously there is screenshots and there's videos of him doing the pass where he's parallel to the floor. He's getting dragged down. He's doing all he can, but there's not much you can more expect from Mahomes in that situation when your receivers are letting it hit the helmet and not even bothering catching a ball.
I think that picture, that you were on about. Sorry, it's just because you brought it up then, so I thought I'll just quickly get it in. That it's that picture. It looks good and everything, and he's attempted it, fair play and all that. But I think that proves the difference between the two teams in the fact that Brady was never put in that position.
No.
He never had to make a throw that awkward, if that makes sense. Like, fair play, Mahomes, he is one that could probably do it.
Yeah.
But
And it's got to be said that the pass that he threw, it's not as if it went wayward. It was dead on.
no, yeah, definitely. I just think that was the difference between the two
Yeah.
defenses. Just Brady was just comfortable in the pocket.
That's it though. And the Chiefs' defense, they didn't really have much players out, so they had really no excuse. I think is it Chris Jones, number 95?
Yeah.
I think he was losing his head early on. He was getting in fights with that Jensen. And that I think that's what was part of the Tampa's game plan really, because they are sort of known for that, aren't they?
That's it. I mean, you look at the Green Bay game, they were chatting to Green Bay players all game.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's what they do. I think they like to sort of.
That's it. That's how they get the flags. I think there were some questionable flags, obviously, but there's no way I'm not going to be like the people that saying, "Oh, the refs won the game," because it's not. There was a few questionable, but I don't think it would have made much difference anyway.
Yeah, and I think because it's like obviously, our American mate who was watching it said that they were definitely fouls. It might just be a case of like the rules are different, or the sort of Americans that have watched it longer know a bit more about it.
Yeah, me and you was both adamant that the trip on Mike Evans, that wasn't a trip.
But then we're used to watching football and rugby, aren't we? So with things like that, in rugby, that's probably not given.
No.
You know, it's just like an accidental trip. And to me, it looked like he played for it personally, but that's just my opinion. You know, I thought that he's felt contact on his back leg and he's kind of dropped straight away.
Yeah, but like we said, it wouldn't have made much difference, just for the simple fact the defence for Tampa was just unmatched. It was unreal.
Yeah. But then at the same time, I think Chiefs had plenty of ball.
Yeah. I think Tampa's defence as well, they did a good job covering Tyreek Hill, keeping him out of the game. Kelsey had a few opportunities, but they did the same for him. They just shut it all down. And the only thing that was really working was Mahomes running, which there was a stat where he nearly run 500 yards in the game.
Yeah.
And Edwards-Helaire kind of had a good game towards the second half of the game.
Yeah.
So
I know Brady won MVP, but you have to hold their defense in high regard.
Yeah.
Bucks. I think I don't like I said, Brady is obviously you don't put him out of any game, but I think if it weren't for their defense stepping up in the playoffs from the wild card all the way through, I don't think they would have been there.
No, not a chance. They've just got a full, well-rounded team, haven't they? Yeah. I think ever since, like they said, ever since the game after they played the Chiefs, so they went to I forgot what it was, 7-5 or something like that. They just something clicked in them, and they just started winning, and they never seemed to stop really. But that's it. It's all about a well-rounded. It doesn't matter if you have one player like Brady or whatever. You need the whole team to step up, and that's what they all did.
Yeah, definitely. What do you just quickly before we sort of finish? What's your? I know it's early. I'm not going to ask for a prediction, but what do you think for next year? What's your? We'll do one obviously closer to time.
Yeah.
Before the starts, but what are you thinking?
Next year, I don't know. There's a lot of good teams, like you said in the chat when we was watching Super Bowl. Many teams will look at this and say, you know what? They've figured out the Chiefs now. They've found out the weaknesses, but how they need to play defensively against them.
Yeah.
But I still think the Chiefs will be up there. I still think they'll be in playoffs, maybe even Super Bowl. Tampa the same. I think you've got Brady. He just wants to make history constantly now. It's become a routine for him, hasn't it? But I think the Bills could make it next year to the Super Bowl. Definitely.
I hope so. Or I hope they're still in I hope they get to the divisional at least, because I think I just hope Allen doesn't lose his head. I can't see him doing it.
No, I think stuff like losing to the Chiefs as bad as they did, I think that does get to quarterbacks and stuff, and they use that as motivation. So a quarterback of his quality, I think, it's not like Lamar like the previous year where people could figure him out because he's just running. Allen's got all these sort of abilities that he
He's
can
kind
do.
of like a Mahomes, isn't he? He's not
Yeah.
an all-out rusher like Lamar. He's
No.
got a very good arm on him, but
Yeah.
if they need to,
Yeah, he can scramble. Yeah.
over that 10 yards, they can scramble it, yeah.
Yeah.
I think going off what you said, it's like, what I said in the chat about the Chiefs and that, I just think that not many teams go out to bully them. I think
No.
because they were that good, the Chiefs last season, I think that a lot of teams sort of sat back a bit and were a bit like, oh, God, what are they going to do? Where I
Yeah.
think Tampa proved that if you get in the face early, bully them a little bit.
Yeah, just get in the heads.
That's it.
Once you've got a couple of flags on them, they start losing their head then.
I think I said it. I can't remember after a few Sambuca shots and a fair amount of beer.
I can't remember it after a dog treat and a couple of Malibus.
But I do think, I don't know, I can't remember if I said it about the Chiefs when I said all that stuff about teams figuring them out, but I reckon they'll still make the playoffs. I think maybe first round bye again, maybe wild card at least. But with Tampa, I think they'll be there or thereabouts again. It's an hard one because you'll have to see what sort of like happens in the off season with trades and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I definitely think they'll be in the divisional again next year.
Yeah, if they can keep the same team. I mean, I did see an interview with Gronk, and he said he's going to come back. So if they can make him have a couple of good games like he did, like the Super Bowl, for example, I think that they've pretty much got all the weapons they need. I mean, he did do a good job of obviously blocking and stuff, but you want to see him make plays and stuff like that first.
Yeah, go on. Sorry, go on.
So like with Mike Evans, Godwin, even Antonio Brown, who stepped up, he scored as well. And Fournette.
That's the scariest thing, though, isn't it? When you look at Gronk, who's been out for a couple of years, Brown, they're going to have. I know Brown only came in part way through, didn't he? Yeah. But like you look at him, and especially Gronk, who's now got a season under the belt with a Super Bowl win at the end of it.
Yeah.
That's scary for teams next year because they're ready. If that makes sense, they've got a bit of
they know in them. Yeah, they know in themselves that they can do it.
Yeah, that's scary for teams in NFC. But we'll have to wait and see.
But we will say it was a pleasure to watch Brady make history. 7 rings.
It must have been good because I woke up to an email off NFL Store confirming my order for Tom Brady. So, but anything else, Cam?
That's pretty much it. Thanks guys for watching.
No worries. Take care, guys. All the best. See ya.